Okay, so class, as I mentioned, today we'll briefly be looking at some of the video techniques that we've looked at in previous lessons, just to recap before we move on to our storyboarding activity. Okay, first up, can anyone tell me what videography technique is being used in this example? Think back to last lesson.
Effect?
Effect? No, not effect. That is one of the ones we looked at.
Shot type?
Correct, shot type. Now, can you think of the exact example that was being used in that one? It's alright if you can't.
Would that be effect, like Grant just said?
Yeah, so it's not an effect. What shot type it is? What example of shot type is it?
Example of shot type. Camera effect? No.
No. That's a videography technique.
Framing?
No.
Light?
Shot type.
Shot type.
So examples were close up.
Oh, okay.
Wide shots.
Yeah.
Well, so which one?
Close up, isn't it?
Correct. Close up.
Close up.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to see we remember. Okay. So what videography technique is this then?
That one's the
Camera dolly?
dolly.
So that's an example of the technique, but what videography technique is it? Good that you remember that.
Composition, framing, no.
No?
No, I've forgotten.
You've forgotten?
Yep, forgotten.
That's alright. It's camera movement.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
You mentioned it with camera dolly, that's how the camera moves.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay, good. And you've already mentioned what it is, so that's excellent. Okay, last videography technique we've covered. You've already mentioned this one.
Effect.
Camera effect, correct. Now, can anyone remember the example that was?
Monochrome.
Monochrome, correct.
Black and white.
Black and white, yeah. Okay, so as well as videography techniques, we've also looked at design principles. Can anyone tell me what the main focus for this one is? So for video design principles. Lighting, correct.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And for this one?
Framing.
Framing, correct.
Yep.
Bonus points for if you can tell me exactly what technique is being used in this shot.
Thirds.
Close. Rule of thirds. Okay. Last one we'll look at. Can anyone tell me which design principle we're using here? It's alright to look back at your notes. You need to remember.
That one's composition.
Composition, yes.
Yeah.
And another bonus point, can you remember which one is being used here? We only mentioned it briefly last lesson. It's alright if you don't. No? Okay, that was perspective, forced perspective. Okay, very good. So, we'll be using those techniques and principles in the upcoming task, which is storyboarding. We will be doing our own storyboarding. So remember back to that clip we watched at the beginning of class? What I'll get you to do now is to storyboard it out. So, the way storyboarding works is, you have a number of panels, which are each of your shots. And the way storyboarding works is you do a rough sketch of what you would want for the shot. So in this example here, there's a fence, there's a chair, man lying down. Then you list the camera techniques and what's happening in the shot. So in this example here, we have first is the type of shot. So you could use close-up, panning, wide shots. Then you have the action. So what's happening in the shot? Is this person just sitting there? Is he reading a book? Is he having a nice cold drink on a hot summer's day? Could be any of these things. Now, here they also have text, which can refer to any text on screen. We're not going to worry about that just yet. Instead, what I want you to do when you're doing your own storyboarding is just add some other different effects that we've covered. So that could be a type of camera movement. It could be dolly movement. It could be there's a focus of lighting on this shot. And I want you to have at least 3 techniques for each shot as we go through. Okay.
So
Question? Yep.
And how long would each of these storyboards be in actual fact in the video?
In the video, so for the clip we watched.
Yeah.
So each shot, so that's for as long as the camera's continuously rolling, that's 1 shot.
Okay.
So alternatively, there are some storyboards which are like choreographed fight scenes, in which case it's like that's 1 movement, that's 1 shot is 1 movement there, and then that's another one.
Okay.
For the purpose of the clip, it's just going to be while the camera's rolling.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Don't think so? That's alright. Okay. So, I'll get you to start backwards working. So you've already, in this instance, you've already seen what the end result is, and now you're storyboarding that out. What storyboarding is typically used for is planning to make that shot, planning to make that video.
Okay.
So in this instance, we're backwards mapping to make sure that you can all understand the process. So yeah, if you want to get to it, that would be lovely.
Okay.
Okay.
Everything okay over here?
I hope so.
You hope so?
I'm getting there slowly.
Getting there slowly. So which shot are you thinking of starting with first? Are you starting with a close-up or...?
Yes, a close-up.
Close-up? Okay. Do you remember what was happening during the close-up? What action was happening?
Still.
Still? There was a still shot?
It was a still shot, yes.
Okay. So, and you don't need to incorporate text. You can just mention what other type of camera effects or design principles or techniques were being used.
And it was also
Remember to refer back to your notes if you need to double check.
monochrome.
Monochrome, okay. Remember, if any of you need to go back and refer to the clip, that's perfectly okay. So what's happening here?
Well, I thought that the opening shot was within a frame, and that there was a slow pan in to the focal point in the frame.
Mm-hmm.
And that there was a fade from colour, looking from a wide angle, and then as it focused in, we changed to more of a monochrome look.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I was just trying to work out how I'd
So that's
that.
Yep, that's a lot happening in that one shot. So in that instance, you could maybe break that up into 2.
Okay.
Just since what you're looking at there is you're looking at both a panning shot and then a focus. So maybe break those 2 shots into different frames.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So maybe start with just a wide shot and then have the pan in.
Yep, and then have the focus or the zoom.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, do that in 3.
Yep. Because what you've done there is you have a lot of it all in one, where it could be broken out into further movements.
Okay.
Because remember, storyboarding is what the production team will look at when they want to produce it. Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
So if it's all jumbled in one, they might get a bit lost. Whereas if you have them out in parts, it's going to be easier for people to understand.
Okay.
Especially for you when you go back and looked at your own assessments.
Okay.
So remember, you need to also draw physically what's happening in each shot.
Oh, okay.